Maker and welcome to the Knit Academy. This is your place to learn all of the basic knitting techniques that you will need to get started knitting. Now, knitting can seem like a really intimidating thing if you've never done any type of fiber art before, or if you are a crocheter and just the idea of working with 2 needles instead of 1 crochet hook seems really scary. Guess what? It doesn't have to be. Knitting does not have to be a scary thing. It's actually pretty simple once you get the basics down, and it uses very basic stitches to create beautiful stitch patterns and different ways to make things into anything that you want it to be. So during the Knit Academy, I will be teaching you all of the basic stitches and techniques that you will need to begin any knitting project, and this can range from doing a scarf to a sweater. Basically all these stitches I'll be teaching you can use for anything. During the Knit Academy, I will be doing a knit along in my Facebook group where you will be able to work through this cowl pattern that I have designed. It is essentially a sampler of all the techniques we will be learning during the Knit Academy, and even if you join too late and can't be a part of the knit along, you can still do the scarf. It will be free on my blog and it is super simple. So today, in order to start the scarf or any knitting project, you have to learn how to do the cast on stitch, which is the foundational stitch that every knitting project is built upon. If you are a crocheter, this is the equivalent of a chain stitch, but in knitting it's called a cast on, and this is what every knitting project will be built upon. So let's go ahead and get started and learn how to cast on.
Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to cast on in knitting, which is how you begin every project that you're going to be do in your knitting. So before we begin to cast on, we first have to do a slip knot, which is what we will slide onto our needle. So to do a slip knot, you will create a loop with your yarn like so. Then you're going to take this yarn in your right hand and you're going to create a U shape and then put it through your hole right there. And then you just pull the yarn in your left hand closed. And then this, you can just tighten it or loosen it to whatever you want. But since we are putting it on these knitting needles, we don't need it to be very big. So after you've slid the yarn onto your left knitting needle, now it is time to begin casting on. And this is just a very basic cast on stitch. There are a lot of different ones that will either make your stitches more stretchy or tighter, and this one is on the tighter side. So to begin that, we're going to take our right knitting needle and we are going to stick the needle through this loop behind the needle in our left hand. So you'll see right here, it kind of looks like that from the bottom or like this from the top. Then you will take your yarn, which you can hold it any way that feels comfortable to you, but I like to put it over my index finger and over my ring finger. And then this will help me keep my yarn nice and tight for making this. Then the next step is we are going to wrap the yarn around that right needle and over and in between the two on top of the loop. Then you will take your right needle and you are going to bring it down and you will pull that yarn that you looped in between the two through that loop and then put it on that left needle and tighten it. So to show you guys that again, you'll put your needle under this left one and through this loop, so it will be behind to form an X. Then you will put the yarn, wrap it around the needle in between the X, and pull the yarn through that loop through the bottom and just place it onto the left needle. Let's do that again through that loop, around the needles and in between, down through that loop, over and up. And you just keep repeating this cast on for however many stitches that you are going to be using in your project. If you are following along with my basic knitting scarf pattern, we are going to be casting on 24 stitches. Oops. So keep going and just continue this all the way till you get the right number that you want. And that is how you cast on. Just like this.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like it below if you enjoyed watching it, and hit the subscribe button if you never want to miss out a video from me, and also check out my other videos and tutorials on my channel. See you next time!